Carter's ears rang when he tried to orient himself amidst smoke and gunfire. A cannonball had struck close to him and his men. Many lay wounded on the ground. Across the field, the men in grey uniform were charging, but their yells and yelps Carter couldn't hear. Behind him, his men were struggling to their feet. Carter looked around to decide on the next course of action. Smoke obscured almost everything, making it difficult to even see his own men at times. All around him, the Union troops were in alarm, running and shouting. Something was wrong. He could tell from the way the planned formations dissolved into chaos, trying to fend off the men in grey which bled through the lines. They were attacking the flanks. Carter could see the men sway, taken aback by the surprise attack. Lieutenant Carter didn't know where the captain was. He could hear fragments of yells and screams as the men hoped for orders, but their captain was gone, perhaps shot, perhaps wounded. Either way, it was on Carter to make a decision. "I heard you saved a great deal of men by using your wits yesterday." "Yes, sir. I tried, sir." With a few commands, Carter rallied his scattered troop. He looked around to assess the situation. The smoke was dispelling and the Confederates were cutting off their way back, dividing the army. Any attempt to push forward would result in death. They had to retreat, find cover at least. "No need to be modest about your accomplishments. The army needs men like you, Carter." Carter said nothing. He only stood there in front of the officer. He had a feeling where this was going. He only wasn't sure how comfortable he was with it. He liked his rank, liked his men, liked the amount of responsibility that came with it. He wasn't interested in fame, nor in more duties he might struggle to fulfill. Carter suppressed a frown. His father would have been proud at that moment, if only it had been in another life, or in another army. The bitterness sank back down when the major spoke anew. Carter helped his men escape as best he could. Most of them were wounded, but not beyond help. If he got them out, they might join the fight another day. Turning back to the pursuing men in grey, he shot one of them with his revolver. Like a river, they poured from in between the trees. Their familiarity with the area gave them the advantage, even if they had prevented being divided by the sudden appearance of Confederate reinforcements. The moment to win was gone. The men were disoriented, frightened even, and the rebels were high in spirits, driven on by the adrenaline in their blood. They wanted to decimate their enemy as much as possible before he could flee and regroup. "We are in need of new officers every day, Lieutenant," the officer uttered, locking eyes with Carter. A calm gaze examined the soldier as if to make sure there was no doubt about the decision. Finding no fault with the man in front of him, the officer continued, "You make a fine captain. Congratulations." Despite having left the enemy behind, Carter still cast a glance towards the trees to make sure they weren't followed. But they had made it back into the Union. They were safe. The man who was supported by the lieutenant was struggling for a moment. Blood was soaking his trousers all the way down. "Sir," the man begged as his strength slowly ebbed away, but Carter didn't give up. "Move, damn you! I didn't drag you all the way for you to die." The soldier only groaned from the pain when his superior kept dragging him along. He didn't leave men behind. Struck mute by the finality of circumstances, Carter only stared at the man behind the desk. Then he remembered his place, voiced his gratitude, saluted, and left. A promotion always felt like a dream until the first new duties came along for him to take care of. Only before he had been able to go home and share his happy news. This time a letter would have to be enough, if he dared to write one. He had told her of the dangers if his letter ended up in the wrong hands by accident. It would have to wait, like so many things, until the war was over.